Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in again. Hey, in this video I'm going to go over transferring fuel. One of the things I did when I built this rig was I put an additional 35-gallon gasoline tank in here. I'm running a Ford F-250 with a 7.3-liter engine. They call it the Guzzler. He likes to drink gas like I like to drink super gulps or big gulps. So I needed to transfer that fuel from that tank to my 40-gallon tank that came with the truck. And a product I found to do that is a product called the Guzzler. And it's right here, and it all comes in this case. It's from a company called FlowJoe. It's funny because they're out of Phoenix, and I'm kind of in the Phoenix area, so it's kind of interesting to find them. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to set this up and use it, and hopefully it helps you guys out. So let's get into this. All right, some of you might be saying, hey, why not just use gravity feed and let that gas just trickle down in your big tank? Well, the problem is Department of Transportation, thank you government, will not allow gasoline engine reserve tanks to fill the main tank via gravity feed. The thing is gasoline is much more flammable than diesel. So if you carry an extra gasoline tank, you have to use a secondary pump system to pump that fuel from the tank to the main tank on your vehicle. So first thing I like to do when I get to a situation like this, make sure I have a lot of room and everything like that, and then I take my fire extinguisher out and I have it where I can get to it easily. I don't want to have to move something out of the way. I want to have it close, but I don't want it to have it right next to what I'm doing here, because if it does get fire, I'm going to reach into the fiery area to get to my fire extinguisher. So take this bad boy out, make sure that it's rated. This one I have here is rated for all three types of fires. This is for trash, wood, and paper, and it can be for liquid fires, mainly gasoline, and electrical equipment fires. So make sure you have one of these, even if you don't do gas transfer or fuel transfers. It's just a really good thing to have on board, and they don't cost that much. Okay, now that we have a safe environment and the fire extinguisher is out on the ground, it's time to crack out the pump. This is the whole unit right here. It comes in this nice little box, nice durable handle. Sits really well down here in the lower compartment of my Bowen Customs Ford garage. I like to put it in here. It doesn't have to set level, but I got a couple other things that I kind of adjust around sometimes to open it and let it just sit easy. So fold it open like this, sets perfectly. The first thing I want to do is crack open the wire pack, and then I like to take the Velcro personally and wrap it around the handle just so I know where it is every time. Force a habit. And the next thing we want to do is plug this 12-volt plug into the cab of the truck. All right, every vehicle is different. On my truck, I opted for the center console, and I have a 12-volt here on the back. And with the Ford, I need to have the ignition on. I don't have to have the truck running, but I just need to have the ignition on. And you just obviously just, it's typical 12-volt. You slide that in, you get your red light so you have power, and you're good to go. And then what I like to do, just to keep things kind of clean and simple, is close up this door. All right, with the door closed, the other thing I like to do, just to kind of keep the mechanism and everything up off of the ground, especially if it's raining or muddy, is kind of just, I throw the extra line up here, and then right here on my door hook where the front door hooks in, I'll just hook my wire over right there. So then my power cord is sitting up here off the ground. So if there's any reason I do have an emergency or situation that I got to turn this off quickly, I always know exactly where it is, and it's not on the ground. I'm not fumbling around for it, and it's going to stay clean because it's up here out of the way. All vehicles are different, but I found this works out really good for me. All right, now time to get to the fuel. Take your fuel cap off. This one has a chain on it. It's nice, I don't lose it. And then you have two hoses, and this is the intake hose. So it's got a pre-filter on it right here, and it has a secondary filter. I'll show in some B-roll on it as well. So you're just gonna take that hose, drop it down in there. You can hear it kind of clanking on the side. And then when I hear it hit the bottom, I like to give it about 10 to 12 more inches, just so I know that it's curled up and sitting on the bottom and can get the best flow of fuel out of it. Okay, next for me, obviously get to the main primary tank. This I always put on my tire, and kind of fits perfectly in between my treads, so I don't lose that, it doesn't fall on the ground. Now the other line that you have, so this is now the outline. This is the line that's going to go into your tank, and it does have this braided piece of wire on here. I don't know exactly sure why they do it, but on my tank I have one of those little kind of doors sometimes, so I have to be a little bit careful when I put that in there. And taking it out, you can kind of hear it catching a little bit. So it's always a little bit of a tense situation when I get done to take that out. I do know, I think I have a little spout for it that you can put in there, but no matter what, it always seems like it sounds like it catches a little bit. So that line's in there, everything else is ready to go. So now it's just powering up the unit. Okay guys, so the Guzzler comes with a little key fob. Let's see if I can show that to you. It's got an A and B on it. So once you're ready to go, you're gonna hit A once, and that's gonna start a 1 minute cycle of fuel. If you hit A twice, it's gonna start a 5 minute cycle of fuel. So right now I'm just gonna do a single cycle. And there you go. You can hear it come on. You can hear that change in tone. That's really when the fuel first gets to the main pump and then starts running up into the truck. And again, on this setting, for the one press of the button, you're gonna get 1 minute of fuel. And if you ever have to, you can always go over and hit your power button and stop things. So like if you're not sure how much fuel you have in the truck and it's starting to overflow or something like that, and your key fob's in your pocket or whatever, again, having this up and where you can get to it, you can just quickly turn it off. So if you want to try to get the most fuel in your truck, not sure if you need a whole minute's worth of flow or maybe just need 30 seconds, this is a really quick way to like stop things right away. So I know where I'm at on fuel. I'm at a half a tank and my tank is 40 gallons. So at half a tank, that means I need 20. And if this is gonna run for 5 minutes, I know for sure that I can do a double click. So I'm gonna go ahead and double click it. Unit's gonna start up and I'm gonna let this thing run for 5 minutes. And I'm gonna check then on my dash and see where I am on my gauge. I'm probably gonna be about, obviously got quarters. I'm probably gonna put about 1/8 of a tank in right now. So I'll get back to you in a minute once this 5 minute session is up. Okay guys, welcome back. I did about 2 transfers of fuel. I didn't have the tank full right now. I was coming up out of Las Vegas. I'm kind of west central Nevada right now on my way up to Lake Tahoe area, North Lake Tahoe for the 4-wheel camper rally. So I got through all my gas, but what I wanted to show you right now is I got down to the end of my tank. So it's starting to sputter a little, which is fine. And then what you do when you're done filling up is then what you want to do then is clear the lines. And what they tell you to do is go ahead and hit the button once, and then I'm going to pull my line out of the tank. I'll lift it up, I'll show you, and let all that run into the pump. And then I'm going to take the whole unit, and it's kind of funky. Probably don't have to do this, but I prick the whole unit up and try to get the hose up and just let everything run out of the lines and into the tank. So, and it's okay to run it. If there's not fuel running through it, you're not going to hurt it. So let's go through the kind of closing up process right now. Well, it's not turning on. Hang on a second. Take 2. All right, let's get this cleanup going. All right, I'm gonna take this line up and out. Sputtering a little bit. So I got that line up. What I like to do is just kind of raise it up. Get the filter and everything up above the pump. I can visually see that just about all the fuel is now out of the intake line. So I'm just gonna set it back down for right now. And then I'm gonna go over and start working the outline. And most of the fuel now is out of there. And I'm gonna keep just bringing it up slowly. And there's like a little bit right here. So I'm gonna bring it down. Get it down in the line, and then bring it back up. And everything looks fairly good, fairly dry. Go ahead and slowly pull my line out of the tank. The first thing I always do is put my cap on, because otherwise I'll forget. And there you go, that 1 minute is over with. And now the unit is all dried out. I'll let it sit like this for just a little bit while I unplug it and wrap up the wire line. But that's basically what the 12-volt Guzzler does. It's a project made by FlowJoe. They didn't give it to me, I bought it myself. I think it's a great product. If you got any questions for me, leave them down in the comments. If you like the video, hit like, you know that whole thing. If you want to see more videos, hit subscribe. The little subscribe down in the corner of the video will allow you to quickly subscribe. And I'll put out some more videos. If there's anything else you'd like to see, let me know. And get out there and have some fun, because I know I am. See you guys later.